Hello, Andrew.
Hello. How are you?
Living the dream. Thanks for
Good.
asking. What about
Yeah.
you? You good?
Yeah, really well, thanks, Dave. Really, really well. Kind of just on the back of the HARPA conference last week,
Yeah.
which, fantastic event. I don't know how you found it, but went really, really well.
It was the best one for the last 2 or 3 years.
Agreed.
You
Yeah.
know,
And
that,
everyone I'm speaking to has said the same and how positive it was as well.
mm,
Everyone felt really positive coming away from it. So yeah, it was good.
yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, we felt that. And yeah, not saying the previous years haven't been okay, but this year
Hmm.
was definitely a better buzz.
Yeah.
Um, we better get started on
Let's do
introducing
it.
it.
Let's
This
do
is
it.
another one of our XP podcasts and kind of videos that we're doing with all our
Thank you for
partners.
having us.
Oh, well, you're an absolutely key and critical part of our partnership network, as you well
Yeah.
know. And we're doing these with all our partners, and I'm doing it with some old contacts as well. And the main focus of them is really to talk marketing and tech,
Of
and
course.
with a
Yeah.
little bit of behavioural science and talking about AI in it as well. So
Yeah.
it's great to have you on. To be honest, someone
Thank you.
who has been in the parks industry forever, and
Yeah,
also with your
it
tech.
does feel forever.
I mean, I've only been in it 5 years, and look at it there.
I know I've got grey coming through now as well.
Oh, my heart's bleeding.
Yeah.
Um, um, so you better introduce yourself. Let's be
Yeah,
professional.
let's do that.
Well,
Yes.
come on, Andrew.
So, Dave, I'm Andrew Blackie. So, I'm sales director for Elite Dynamics. I've been with Elite for just over 6 years now. And in the industry since I was 15. I'm not telling you how old I am, but in the industry since I was 15.
Only 10 years.
Only 10 years. Yeah.
Blimey. So there's not a lot you don't know about the industry and its use of tech, pretty much.
No, exactly that. And I think, we spoke last week and, over the last couple of months, but I think that's what one of the things that I'm proud of at Elite is that like my experience and I look at what I've done, I think I've done every job you can imagine on
Mm,
a holiday park
mm.
and within the industry, a stint with a dealer, a stint with a manufacturer, and then the holiday park as well. So it certainly helps when you're talking to people and it's not just here's some software we think it might help you. It's actually here's some software built by Microsoft experts and built by people who get and understand the industry and have done, have worked in it and understand what it's like.
It's definitely one thing I've seen, having previously been in like worked in media and creative industries and that kind of stuff, is they tend to be a very a kind of mosaic of backgrounds, you
Of
know.
course. Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas the parks industry is pretty unique insofar
Yeah.
as whether you're working for a vendor,
Hmm.
a kind of OTA, a hot tub manufacturer, whatever.
Yeah.
At some time or another, you've had some involvement directly in the running or servicing of a park. I find that
Yeah.
really interesting, which does give everyone a better insight, right?
It absolutely does. And I think, it's the bits that all join it together. You mentioned there, like, a hot tub supplier and it's all of these sort of pieces of the jigsaw that come
Yeah.
together that make the holiday park or the holiday industry operate.
Yeah.
And, I think between us all, we have all sort of moved around. I think once you're in it forever.
Oh
You
God.
can't get away from
Oh my God.
it.
Oh no, I was in a good mood as well.
I know, sorry, there's no escaping it, Dave.
Well, yeah, it is really interesting that it's something I've I won't say come to terms with, but it's something that I kind of recognise. And one of the things is that was an eye opener for me, right? When we first started the business 4 years ago,
Yeah.
in COVID, really, we started it. I mean, that says a lot about my stupidity. But was listening to some of the early parks that we talked to and got pushback from. It was I would buy it,
Yeah.
but I've got to buy a couple of hot tubs.
Yeah.
Never had that because in different industries, it was more like oranges and oranges. It was like
Exactly.
software is either what we want or not what we want because we're going with a
Yeah.
competitor or whatever. But here it was like, oh right, I'm in competition with decking suppliers and hot tub suppliers, and
That's
it's
it.
a real
It's
like,
all of them together, isn't it? You know,
yeah,
it's like, well, I can't do that because I need to go and buy that
yeah,
today. Come back next month, or it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It was like, um. So let's talk about what I think of a couple of elite strengths.
Yeah,
My background being pure tech across the last 35 years, or however old I am, is is kind of seeing the strengths of different solutions. And
yeah,
in my observation, is a very strong operational system at its core. And there's
yeah.
reasons for that, right? Because of the backbone of the tech. But I wonder whether you could kind of, from my knowledge, as much as anyone listening and watching, is how do you see tech practically creating operational improvements in parks, particularly, but businesses in general, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, as we know, tech is come a long way and it moves very, very fast. And one of the things with Elite is that our systems are Microsoft. So our our sort of business solution, if you like, has to move at the same pace as Microsoft does. So, you're constantly on a wheel, improving the system, improving the application, and making sure that it fits in with sort of Microsoft's growth as well. So that's
Yeah,
a real strength and positive element. Where we are today and moving forward in the future, the big thing that everybody is needing analysis, and one of the things that we've got with that is Power BI, on with Microsoft Power BI, and this is where people like myself, sales directors, where they'd be able to see their true margin per unit, not just headline sales price,
yeah,
where they can really see that in-depth analysis of how the park is performing, how bookings are performing, how sales are performing,
yeah.
and see all of that. So analysis, I would say, is absolutely a key cog in a successful operation using technology. And then the second one, which I know we're going to talk more of today, because it's there's two ends of the equation with AI.
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
so I think that it's something that's been around for, or more in our faces, if you like, for the last couple of years, and there's lots of different versions and there's lots of different elements to it. But one of the things that's really important for us at Elite is making sure people adopt it in the right way and use it to benefit them on the holiday park, and have smarter pricing incentives using AI insights. But the idea behind it is utilizing the analysis side with Microsoft Power BI is where you can use AI driven analysis and action it and
yeah.
be able to interact with the likes of Microsoft Copilot, for example, where you can then do upsell and cross-sell opportunities. You can utilize it for your marketing efforts. So using it in the right way, which I know we're gonna come on to, but using it in the right way will then help and drive businesses forward in the right way with technology. And I think that's where 2026 is going, is
Mm,
making sure we've got those two cogs right, which
mm,
then sort of the underneath, if you like, which is all of the actual operational part
mm.
of the platform, where you can manage your deal, manage your lead, manage your booking. But if you've got those two layers on top, that's what for us makes the difference.
I'm gonna throw a couple of questions. I told you I'm
Of
boring, so
course.
listen. How much freedom do you guys get in terms of, yep, you've got the Microsoft platform, you're built on Microsoft technologies, but
Yeah,
can you just kind of articulate how much freedom you've got as Elite to kind of
to build what
to
what
build?
we need. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that's a great question because when sometimes when you go, oh, it's a Microsoft platform,
Mm,
is it like some of the other brands out there, the big world global brands where it's sort of off the shelf and
yeah.
everybody has the same thing. So with ours, what we have is it's a Microsoft platform. So if we talk about Elite Parks as a great example, it's built inside or on Microsoft Business Central,
Mhm.
which is an out-of-the-box finance system.
Yeah.
Um, so what we do and the way it works is imagine apps on your mobile phone.
Mhm.
So you've got your mobile phone, that effectively is Microsoft Business Central.
Gotcha.
Then
Yeah.
what we do is install the app inside it, which is Elite Parks. And you can have a number of different apps. Lots of our partners use an app like yourself. You would come inside there
Best in
and then,
breed, Andrew. Best in breed, I think.
yeah. So definitely make sure yours is in there. But you install apps from like an app store. It's called Microsoft App Source.
Sure.
So you would have Elite Parks inside it. Elite Parks is completely and utterly within our control. So
Right.
we
Yeah.
build and code based on guidelines from Microsoft. We develop our software based on, and they check all our code. We
Mhm.
can't publish anything unless it's been checked and verified by Microsoft themselves.
Yeah.
Um, so what we put out there and what people are using is ours, 100% ours, and built the way we need it within the Microsoft framework. So if we needed to create a process or a flow, we then build it to it however we need it, whatever suitable for our customer base, and then that sits inside the platform. So the framework is there, but our IP, if you like, which is Elite Parks, is built with inside that, and that goes for all of our solutions as well. We have the benefit of the Microsoft backing, if you like, who verifies our solution.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's great to get across as well. I think that's
Of course,
I think
yeah,
that's really good to clarify that and having that freedom of expression really in how you utilize the underlying and that example of a phone is a really good one. I haven't
yeah.
heard you guys say that before. I think that's really powerful. I think that's a
Yeah,
really
it
good
is. I think that's the best
message.
way of looking at it. It's,
Yeah.
it's their apps, effectively, and we build that app, and that's where we have our business solution. And I think that's the big thing, that we have at Elite is it's not a it's not a park management system, it's not a marina management system, it's a business solution. And the idea is with that sort of technology of the apps that you can install, where we can integrate with the Holiday Maker, where we can integrate to various channels, that's what makes it a business solution because it literally handles everything for your business, not just the park.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Can I ask you a couple of questions based on what you were talking about around the analysis and the AI and that balance and how how you if used in the right way by a park
Yeah,
can impact all aspects of their business from marketing to maintenance to that kind of stuff. Do
yeah,
you see have you seen in not just your time at Elite but your time in the industry, have you seen a temptation for businesses to ignore operational robustness in this desire and this misplaced desire to get stuff out there, to get change in. Did you see that? Because I've seen it in other industries. I just wonder, with your background, have you seen the 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 temptation to spend 20 grand on Google paid ads without having,
yeah.
that kind of example? Have you?
I see it. It amazes me because I do, and I do see it all the time in previous roles and even coming into contact with people now in within the industry and well various industries that there is a notion of we need that. That's great. Let's just go and get it.
Yeah.
I think AI is a good example.
Hmm.
And I suppose going back to what you were saying about Power BI is that, oh, that looks sexy. Let's go and do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But what's that going to do for you? How is that going to change your business, or how is that going to make your business better? But I don't know. He said if I spend that much money, then I'm going to get that many more leads.
Hmm.
Okay, well, what does your funnel look like? And I think that's where we need to. Well, certainly the way the way we approach it, if you like, is ensuring that people are doing things for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And our add-on solutions, if you like, certainly like Power BI, is using it for the right reasons. So, okay, you've got this great reporting stack, but what are you trying to achieve with it? What is it that you want to do? And for us, having something like Power BI shifts the conversation. So it's from how many did we sell to which homes actually made us money,
Okay.
and moving that mindset and making sure it's sort of having clear visibility of your gross versus net margin by model, plot, and salesperson,
Yeah.
discounting trends and incentive leakage, finance uptake, impact on overall profitability. It's all of those trends of knowing where you want to get to rather than just say, oh, Phil sold 30 vans this week. Yeah,
Sure.
but he sold 30 vans that made no money. So
Yeah.
that's, and when you analyze that into things like booking data, is oh, we were full last August. Yeah, but you had an offer on that actually made your sort of nightly rate a ridiculously low amount, and you've done half the amount of bookings this August and made more money.
Yeah,
That's what the reporting stack will do. And what we actually need is for people to realize, well, what's the end game? Where is it you want to go? What is it you're trying to achieve? And then once utilize the products and the solutions and the tech in the right way.
that's really interesting. One thread I'd like to pull up there is some not practical examples, but let's put it the marketing thread, right?
Yeah,
Because what you've just said, if you've got that data, it enables a more effective marketing strategy, right? Whether it's a
yeah,
strategy,
absolutely.
so let's kind of use marketing as a bridge to how your operational excellence can improve your guest experience. Let's kind of use
Yeah.
marketing as a bridge. What have you seen? What would you do if you're in the parks position? You've got your data right and you've seen some opportunities. How can operational data accuracy kind of generate improved marketing?
Well, and I think it's a great question, and again, something I see all the time, and we, we have these questions, we have these conversations internally,
Mm,
because if if you've got your reporting stack right,
mm,
and the data, it all starts with data, doesn't it? If you've got the data coming in right, and then you've got your reporting stack right, it helps you make better decisions. So
mm,
when it comes to marketing, again, that old is, oh, we've had 10 leads this week. That's amazing. Yeah, but it's cost
mm,
you £35,000 to get those leads in.
mm.
So it's you've got to make sure that the data is going into these tools as well, and that
Yeah.
you're reporting on it, so that when you do analyze the data, you can then make a decision going, okay, for me, that's where having the analysis and the data helps you make better decisions. Because if you don't have that analysis and data, on the face of it, that was a great event. We got 10 leads and it cost us X. But you've got to plug in the data.
It's really interesting. We see that a lot. And certainly before we turn the video on, we were chatting about when I clocked or clicked, one of the two, that
Yeah,
going to a business, going to a park and going, you're spending, okay, this is purely out of the air, you're spending £10,000 a month on your Google PPC ads.
yes,
You're retargeting. Do you know what value you're getting from it? Well, yeah, no, Google are telling me this. Well, you're getting Google to check its own homework, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
And B, I'm not sure you've got the right data. Why don't you give, and purely commercially, why don't you give us at Holidaymaker £500, £750 a month, and see how we perform against you? Don't take
Yeah,
the money from elsewhere. Take it from your Google spend because
yeah,
you don't really know what value that's having.
no,
So it's kind
no.
that is a kind of a front end um, kind of example of what you're talking about in your
Yeah, exactly that.
yeah
That's exactly it. And
yeah.
it's going into things blindly. It's sort of
Mm.
you're chucking money into a black hole, but not really understanding what it's actually doing for you. And I think for me, I've seen it so many times. I've done it as well,
Sure.
where,
Yeah.
you get to that point where you've sold five less caravans than you needed to, for an example. So, well, let's up the marketing spend. Let's go and put another £5,000 on Google. Let's go and, you know, plow another £5,000 into Facebook, for example.
Mm.
But actually, what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
And for me, this is the underlying thing, that what we're trying to achieve with Power BI and AI is using those two key tools and bring those together to actually go, okay, well, because we've got a product called Elite AI. Elite AI, the idea is where it can help you, with those upgrade opportunities, where it analyzes the data and goes, okay, based on this, license agreement end dates, age of holiday home that you're in, analyze it all, put me together a campaign, send it through CRM, and out it goes.
Sure.
And it can, and the same for the booking side as well, is okay, well, who can I upgrade? Utilizing AI to be able to do that for you. So for me, it's doing things smarter rather than throwing enough at the wall and seeing what sticks, which is back in the good old days. But we don't need to do that now because the technology can help us. As long as we feed it with data, it
Yeah.
will give us the right results. We've just got to trust it that it will help and move our business forward.
Let's pull out that AI thread a bit
Yeah,
more, and let's use that. So you gave a very quick example there of being able to generate and identify and then generate on the fly outbound opportunities for upgrades.
yeah.
That's a great example. What other examples have you got? Are you working on that you can tell me about that you're looking at in terms of how what you're doing from an operational perspective can help guest experience and kind of front of house kind of
Yeah.
interactions? What kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's and it sort of flows, I suppose, quite nicely into the
Mm.
AI topic, doesn't it? And it's there's different elements to it. And I would say the element that we've got inside of the actual Elite Parks application is Elite AI, where you can utilize it for booking upgrades
Mhm.
and owner opportunities. They're for me two real big pieces of the jigsaw that can really help you. I'll give you a great example on the owner upgrade one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Um, every holiday park in the UK where they have owners on the park will have done at some point like a what we used to call a part exchange party. I think we
Yeah.
used to call it, and we used to do it every February, and we used to there, work through all our owners. We'd analyze it manually, go through a piece of paper per owner. What caravan are they in? How much are they? How much did they pay? What's their license agreement end? Have they got any finance? And you do all that, and you'd spend weeks planning for this event, and then you'd all speak to your owners. Our upgrade campaign will do that in minutes for you. And that's the idea. We're saving time, giving you time back to then actually spend more time with the customer. So
Mm.
it could let the platform, Elite AI, analyze the data for you. Once it's analyzed the data, then push it out to the customers via a campaign. And also utilizing My Elite, where it can push this information through to the My Elite app for you as well. The upgrade campaign for a booking, for example, is utilizing the different technology stacks. So
Mm.
starting from Elite Parks, run the campaign and push that directly through as a push notification to the My Elite app and allow them to pay straight away, and they've upgraded.
Mm.
They don't need to spend hours of analysis to try and move bookings around and try and create capacity or manage that sort of yield. You can do that within a couple of clicks. And so that's the sort of within the platform that we're trying to do is create tools to save time and get out to the customers quicker. Push
Mm.
notifications, emails, text message, in whichever way it is. The other ways are, and it amazes me actually, is how many tools that we've already got now.
Yeah.
Most people use Microsoft in some sort of way,
Sure.
whether it's Excel, whether it's Word, whether it's Outlook. And in these applications, Microsoft have Copilot and they have a lot of others like Planner, depending on what type of license you have. But there is so many tools that are there that people don't use. They just use Word and Excel because that's what they know. But under the hood, you've got Copilot. And with Copilot, I use it every single day.
Mm.
And I can type a question into Copilot and I could say, well, what's my day looking like today? And it'll come back and say, well, this is your day. These are the meetings you've got. These are the notes that I found that you saved on your computer that also relate to these meetings. Do you want me to help draft a reply to those, to those emails? So again, with the same thread of the system, utilizing it to save you time and working smarter. Because working on a holiday park myself, 12
Mm.
years as a general manager, where does the time go? It's
Yeah.
literally it's a seven
Mm.
day job, 24 hours a day.
Mm.
And if I had these tools then to help me prepare for meetings, help me formalize emails, help me with the data, help me with the analysis when I was doing my reporting, it would have changed my life back then. I had to do it all manually. And it
Mm.
scares me actually at how many hours I spent doing all of these tasks every single week, where I just type questions into Copilot now and it helps me. It's amazing. So I think there's different levels to it, helping you with the sort of the day-to-day tasks, but then also within the platform and helping you with your customers in the operational side as well.
That was a brilliant answer. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, I rambled on a bit there. Sorry
No,
about
oh,
that.
you're talking to me, my bloody
Yeah.
gambling. And look, I even let you get away with talking about my
I
elite.
know I dropped it in a little
No,
bit,
no,
just a
no, there
little
you go.
bit, just a little
It's the
touch.
second best app platform in the industry.
Yeah.
But I've got to give you a chance. But you're right. Oh, you're right. One of the things we do is exactly the same as that to an
Yeah.
extent. We absolutely double down on behavioural data,
Yeah, absolutely.
intent as much as activity. So activity being what someone has done, the intent being what they might not have done but look like they were going to do. Because that's
Yeah.
for me when we're talking about the scenario you as a GM went through, being able to know that somebody thought about doing something
Yeah.
but might not have done it is
Yeah.
just as powerful as someone doing something, I think. Excuse
Yeah.
me, and they give it
Totally
a lot of
agree.
opportunity there. So that's really interesting. So let's talk about AI. Let's
Yes. Let's do it.
get to that because I think it's really important.
Yeah.
So you've talked about how it can impact parks and how you think with Copilot in particular, whether it's Copilot or I'm not even going to say the G word with
Yeah.
Claude or Perplexity or whatever.
Yes.
How and so you've talked about the business side of it, how it could help, how Copilot can help businesses run more effectively, or at least take some of the pressure off, right?
Yeah.
What about us as individuals? Put Elite out of it and put Holidaymaker out of it. You
Yeah.
and Andrew, how how do you use it yourself? Because I think
Yeah.
we're probably both representative of people who will go and stay at hotels or parks or whatever. So how do you use it yourself? How do your family use it? And equally, how do you see it changing the way you interact with businesses and going forward as Andrew?
Oh no, as Andrew, yeah, I think it's a great question, and I think, and it's something that I sort of do come across quite a lot. We actually covered it in our From Pitch to Pontoon podcast as well a couple of weeks ago, and touched on it slightly. I did a little drop there. Do you see that?
No, no, you're very good at it. You're well trained. No, but I will,
Yeah,
I will, A, I will listen to that, and B, when we put this out, I will put a link to that because it is a really
yeah, it is.
fair play to
Yeah,
Callum and you and Lisa. You do a
yeah.
do a great job. So yeah, no. So what was that particular episode about?
Yeah, so sort of referring it back to me and what my opinion is
Mm,
it takes us back to what we were saying earlier, which is using it in the right way. There's a
mm,
lot of people and media and news that is scared of it.
mm,
And they're scared of AI because it can do multiple things. And there's some things that it does that it's actually not AI and it's just workflow driven.
yeah.
And there is some things that where you get the deep fakes and we're all on social media and I find myself quite often, and my son does it, he's 14. He's a big Man United fan, as I am. Um,
Well, I'm glad we've had it this week because I'm Spurs and you're going to batter
oh
me
yes,
today. So I'm glad we're doing it
I
now.
know, because if it was the week after it could have been a different conversation. Um,
So yeah,
but
you're Man U fans. Yeah.
so Man U fans, and he will quite often come through and go, "Oh, Dad, guess what? This has happened or that's happened. Let's have a look, mate." And it's a fake video, and it's actually getting quite scary now. Some of the videos that are out there in social media that I actually have to take not two takes, but four or five takes to actually realize that it's fake, like completely and utterly AI generated. It's not even real. So it's from where it was a couple of years ago, where you could absolutely tell it was AI, to now where I'm going, I don't really know this is AI. So I
Mm,
think because of that side of it, as Andrew and as a parent, I'm wary of it because it's, with what's out there now and YouTube and all of the different channels, is making sure that they're watching the right content that they should.
sure.
And I think that flows back into as well is using it in the right way and using it to help you, whether that's through business or personally. And I'll give you an example as we're talking about it on a personal level is I went to Spain last year with my friend and we were sat outside some bar having a beer and he had to do a presentation that weekend and he was stressing about it, didn't know what to say, didn't know what he was doing. And I said, "Have you tried Copilot?" And he's like, I don't even know what Copilot is. Never heard of it. Thought I was talking about a captain on a plane or something like that. Didn't have a clue.
Mm,
So got him to install the app on his phone. He
mm,
installed the app on his phone, and I said, type in there, I've got a presentation to do for my son who is 11, based in this location. This is what it's for. This is the age group. This is the football team, and this is all the information. And press enter. And he didn't
bang,
shut up for the rest of the holiday.
really.
And this flows for me back into the marketing piece as well. I saw a post from, someone that we work well with in the industry, and they were talking about content that was written by AI that marketing now use, and saying there's differences where is it bad or good to use AI? For me, it's good as long as you've checked the content and as long as you use it to help you. It's your assistant, doesn't replace. And I know there is a lot of that feeling out there that AI is going to replace jobs, and AI's, for us, it's called Copilot for a reason. It's
Mm,
your helper. It's someone there to help you with that content, with that email. Utilize it, and then change the words, change it into your how you would sort of describe it yourself, and then use it. Like again, going back to my friend, he then took it, put it into Word, added the content bits that he needed, put his own spin on it, but they helped him generate this whole speech that he could then deliver at this presentation where he didn't even have one word on a piece of paper. And
mm.
so I think to sum it up on a personal level is it's using it in the right way, be aware of what's out there, and don't trust everything that you see, and utilize the tools that are around you. But remember, certainly from a Microsoft standpoint, it's your co-pilot, not your pilot.
That's really interesting. That's Mustafa Suleyman, the brains at Microsoft.
Yeah,
He created DeepMind, didn't he? That he
he
sold to
did.
Google.
Yeah,
So he's my guy. That's the single most impressive thing he's done at
yeah,
Microsoft is calling it Copilot,
it is
because
genius.
that changes the narrative around it. I was listening to he put something out on LinkedIn a couple of days ago, and he was talking about the risk of, and I can never say this word, but anthropolizing or
Yeah,
giving AI human, um, treating AI as a human.
yes,
And he said we've got to be careful. Don't fall down the trap.
no,
And I was like, okay, fair point. And I thought, well, that's really interesting, because his fear was people get attached to it. So they rely
yeah,
so much on AI. And we humanize it. So we talk to AI and go, hey, how are you this morning? Or that,
exactly. How was your day?
how's
Yeah,
the day? And,
yeah,
he said there's a risk around that, clearly.
yeah,
And then I listened to this podcast, and read this article by they're called the Center for Humane Technology. They're really, really good. Really good.
yeah.
An ex-Google ethicist, so he was quite senior at Google. Anyway, they've done this study which shows that certain types of users, young people, certain types of
Hmm.
mainly using AI, are having trouble with self-identification and self-agency now, because
Yeah,
they're chatting to AI in a way that they used to chat with their friends or their
with their
parents.
friends. Yeah, it's scary.
And there's this attachment, they have this attachment to AI,
Hmm.
which is a worry, which is a
Yeah,
concern. And I think it reinforces your message,
yeah.
use it as an assistant, but also it highlights the risks generally, doesn't it? With
It does.
my daughter's 22 now, so she's kind of like she's come out the other side of that, and she's studying psychology, so she's come
Yeah,
out the other side of that digital kind of, um, best way of describing that the kind of digital, not even wave, but everything coming out of COVID, which
yes.
became even more reliant on tech.
On tech. Yeah,
She's come out of that other side, but certainly, your boy's 14, and you've got his peers and that they're in that eye of that storm, aren't they?
They absolutely are.
Yeah.
Absolutely are. And they get lost in it sometimes and
Mm.
don't, and what concerns me on that side of it is they at that age is it's very blurred with what's real and what's not real,
Yeah.
and also what they get back in the information it's fed, from computers. It's gone away from that, you know, things like what we're doing now, just chatting
Exactly.
about, everything. It's not that anymore, and it's what they believe, and they're moving forward, and that interaction they're having with a computer rather
Yeah.
than their friend.
Yeah, it's a real problem,
Yeah,
well, I think it will become a real problem. But I wonder because I see some of the challenges that you've got with your son with my mum. My mum's 82, and she says
yeah,
the kids, and I'm like, that's not happened. Or she said to me yesterday,
yeah,
well, she said to me last week, Keir Starmer's resigned, and
yeah.
but there's that still. Even I had to
There
look. I
is.
was like, okay, he hasn't, but that's
Yeah,
very, very
yeah,
convincing.
yeah.
That thing. And I suppose this is why it's great to have these conversations because it's kind of like it can work. We can use tech for business and we can use AI for business, but actually we're all being affected by it. It's embedding itself in every
It
aspect
is.
of our
It's
life
everywhere. We can't get away from it. And I think what we've got to do is embrace it in the right way.
in the
You
right
know,
way.
we
Yeah.
because if we go, I don't like it, and sort of I want to run away from it, it's not going anywhere.
Mm,
And it's only going to get more and more powerful. But
mm.
I think what we must do is use it in our everyday lives and use it to help us and guide us and drive us through and make us better people for it and make our businesses better for it as well. But use it in the right way. That's something I can't stress enough. I've seen it used it wrong so many times.
Yeah.
Use it in the right way, but don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And just kind of just pulling on that last thread for a minute. So let's take an example. Let's say you were back as a general manager.
Yeah,
We've talked about how you would operationally you wish you had it at the time. So
yeah,
let's say humans, us, we're using AI
yeah,
in a healthy way, and we're
yeah,
using it to kind of interrogate what we're going to do, where we're going to go, how that very we're not using it to um, kind of uh, confess our deepest and kind of most thorough thoughts.
yeah.
As a park, how would you where would you be looking for
hmm
understanding that guest behavior, how customers, how your audience, how your potential customers are using AI? Where would you be looking if you were GM again? Where would you be pointing your
What would I be looking? Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I think for me, if I put myself back into my seat as a GM and what I would need it for, it's that for me, it's the analysis side, but
yeah,
what to do with the analysis and interpret it for me.
yeah,
That's a big thing that you will get from it. So you've got the report aspect, you've got all of your data. Okay, but what's this data telling me? Rather than spending hours and hours and hours and pivot tables and this and charts and you know utilize the tool of Copilot for me and go, can you interpret this for me? What does it mean? And how can that data help me achieve a better result next week? But what's that better result? Well, that better result is I want to sell one more caravan or I want to sell more nights on a booking. And that's what you're doing. You're interrogating it and help and getting it to help you analyze that data better. For me, that's what I would have wanted all those years ago. And and as well as that, it's the knowledge aspect. It's the helping me with, as you can imagine on a park, you're full of licenses and park rules, you're full of owner data, everything is everywhere. But actually, what I would have really wanted back then is a tool to help me analyze that element of the data as well. I've just had a new set of park rules sent to me from head office, or I've had a new set of, a license sent from the council, for example. Plow it into Copilot and say, what's the high level elements I need to be aware of here? But you will actually get things back that will say, well, what are the areas you need to focus on? Well, I need to focus on pitch sizing or something along those lines. and it will read the document for you, or help you prepare for a presentation, or help you prepare for an owner meeting. So it's all of these things that I know used to take me hours to do, preparing for meetings, whether they be management meetings or meetings with owners. Use data that you've got at your fingertips. And for me, Power BI, Elite AI, and Elite Parks in the background, having those tools working together with the data inside it will absolutely save you a bucket load of time. It absolutely will.
And then in effect, what you're saying then is you're saying you use your energy to apply your judgment on top of what you're being, your professional judgment, your
Absolutely.
experience on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get it to make your decision.
No.
Help guide you in making your decision. That's the key for it for me, is
Yeah.
get the data, get the analysis, and go, okay, that's the piece of the jigsaw I'm missing. That
Yeah.
bit there, my occupancy level, or my profit on the holiday homes. That's the bit. We all know those high level numbers, of course we do,
Sure.
but it's crunching them in a much more streamlined way. That's the difference. Rather than taking hours or days or weeks to get to the result now with a report right in front of you.
What a lovely way to end.
It isn't it just?
You could have gone on forever. Thank you, mate.
I
I'm
know,
gonna, I'm
no
gonna,
problem at all.